The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host or the management. This podcast should not be considered professional advice, and listeners should consult appropriate professionals for advice tailored to their specific needs.
Oh, welcome to episode 43. Yes, I did mention, because I got my reasons. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, there's a button. And click the like as well. That'll help our channel out. I'm Renee, and
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie. I am his wife.
for those that haven't figured it out yet,
We are married.
and with us today we have
Jeff.
We know you from Valentine's Day.
That's right.
So
And we know
Yeah.
your wife even better
Yep.
from last week.
from last week.
I think she's on this week.
No.
No, week after. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's get started. So is it a timed race or is it a fixed distance race?
I picked a fixed distance race.
Okay. And what was your finishing time?
My finishing time was 18 hours.
Okay. And your goal time?
Well, as you know from before, I'm just a finisher. I don't really have I did. So this was my first true 100K. I had accomplished the distance before, and I wanted to kind of beat that time. So I wanted less than 21 hours.
Okay. What about your time limit?
So this race had a 36-hour time limit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was generous. Okay. You have a great score on that.
He has
So,
ambition.
he has ambition. So your overall score was 0.95
Woo!
between 0 and 1. That's very high. Your performance was 0.952 because you did better than your goal time. Your ambition was 0.97 because your goal was way below the time limit. And on the aggressive, you were 0.94. You did very well on your finishing time compared to what you had planned and what the time limit was. So overall, that's a very, very good score.
I just want to say that he was kind of like, when he exhaled just now, he was like, dang it. Because he told an elite athlete this morning they had no ambition. And it made him feel so good.
I love telling people they have no ambition.
So you are the first.
That just happens when they say, "Oh, I just want to finish the race," then their goal time becomes the cutoff time, and that means you didn't even try.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I had tons of time, but my objective was to beat the previous time that I ran the distance before.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and you did, and that turned out really well. So, what was your travel time to this race?
so 7 hours round trip.
7 hours round trip.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. You got a
I'm pointing a mental circle around where you live.
0.72.
Well, I haven't told you where I
So
was
you
living at the
spent-
time.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's true.
It's a spoiler.
So 72% of your time was running. That's good. Race fee. What was that?
$164.86.
I like that price.
Yeah.
We got to make it at 165. What about your travel costs?
I put $55 because of 2 tanks of gas.
Okay.
And gas was cheap.
What about nutrition? Did you buy any nutrition for the race or
Yes,
just going with the aid station?
So Carrie was also in this race, so I kind of split it and said for me about $50 worth of nutrition for me.
Okay. It's not bad.
What'd you
What?
have?
Yeah, what'd you buy?
I mean, we do a little. We get in Alani or two, so we have some energy drinks. We buy alkaline water. and then
Yeah.
just fig bars, little donuts, um, some gels, typical stuff,
What
usual.
kind of donuts?
Powdered
I mean,
or
it's very important.
the little Hostess 3-packs that are easy to carry.
Yeah,
Those are the best.
they are, right?
What about shoes? Did you buy any shoes for this race, or
So I
did you have
put
a?
that they were roughly about $25 left on the shoes.
Okay. And
But were they? Whoa,
essentials?
whoa, whoa! What
Whoa,
were they?
R1s.
ones.
And and they were thrown
Oh,
away.
this dates it
They
now.
were thrown away at the end of this race.
Oh, I haven't thrown away an R1 yet.
Well, I'm not going to give away too much, but I mean, the soles of the shoes came off.
Oh, I can't
Oh,
wait to find out what this was now. Okay.
and finally, what about essentials? Was there anything you forgot? You realized at the race you needed, and
Uh,
or last minute purchases?
Last minute purchase, after completing the race, $70. We decided to go
Okay.
to a hotel and get a shower and get in a cool room and, you know,
Yeah.
Take a bath.
yep, clean
Yeah.
up.
Okay. So that's very good. 45% of your cost is actually a race fee. That's way better than the 10 to 20 we usually see.
Yeah.
So you certainly did make the most of your money and your time. So your return on investment is a 0.71. That's way above the 0.55 we usually see.
Yeah. You want that
Very
number
good.
one spot, I can tell.
Nah.
So now I'm going to see if we can keep the high score
Yeah.
or
Because the person who went on before you, no, last week. This will be interesting to see.
yeah.
So, you got some questions. You were told to 1 to 10. You get to score whatever you want. If a 10 is the worst, and it's your race report. And so let me know what it was and why, and we'll start with those aid stations.
Aid station. I gave them an 8. There's 2 aid
Eight.
stations, one at
Okay.
the start finish, one at the halfway, and then there was an unmanned one that was just ice, an ice station and water, um, manned by ultra runners from the community. So, you walked into the aid station, you didn't. They were taking your bottles, they were taking your bladders, they were handing you food. You basically consumed, cooled off. You know, you took a break while you
Yeah.
could, and they were handling business. So, um, just exactly what you like to see at an aid station. The snacks were decent. The good at the halfway point. At the start finish line, they had some volunteers come in. I guess they do it yearly. They do breakfast burritos and donuts. Um, at lunchtime, they had different little, you know, food type snacks that somebody came in and cooked and brought and donated to the race. So overall, I gave them an 8. It was pretty good.
Oh, that sounds
Okay.
really good. And you got more
Yeah,
donuts.
yeah,
You could have saved some money
yeah.
there. So, was there a fun factor to this?
So I gave this one a 6.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It'll come up in two different in 2 scores from now.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh,
Okay.
all right.
Well done.
Okay. So then I guess we'll just move on to the trail markings.
Trail marking?
Did you have any?
It was sufficient. So the first lap was 6 miles out and then back, and then the rest were 5 miles and 5 miles. So you
Okay.
ran past the aid station, and they had a little marker in the middle of the road that you turned around at to come back. And then there was only
Okay.
1, 2, 3 turns. So the turns were marked, and then it was real light in between, and you couldn't really get lost. It was on a road. It was
Okay.
pretty easy. So yeah, I gave him an 8, but it was really basic.
Okay.
And I know we've already touched on before that, you like your markers where you can see them down below. And I think you said that you liked them at night a little higher,
Yeah.
or was it your wife said
No,
higher? One of y'all
I
said.
like them a little bit higher just because of my neck, and I don't really want to be like searching
Yeah.
like this. I'd rather be searching up
Yeah.
and out.
Yep.
But
That's important. I mean, RDs do listen to this, and so it's good for them to know where people like them or if they like. I mean, especially at night.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some. I mean, for me, if I look up from the trail, I'm going down. So I need to see. Unless it's a confidence marker and one of those things that says, "Hey, you're doing just fine."
Yeah.
But then again, at night, it's nice. You can just lift your head. Your headlamp's gonna quickly show you're on the right track.
Yeah. And I want to say they had these on
Yeah.
stakes. So they were about waist
Okay.
level, which was pretty
Mm.
decent. They
Okay.
weren't like on the ground. It was a dirt road. So, you couldn't be too far off the side of the road. It had to be, so they brought it in a little bit, which was good, but they didn't have the ability to hang it high so it was in your face.
Ah,
Okay.
so it was a treeless race.
Kind of, kind of.
Kind of. So, the weather, how would you rate the weather?
So this is why I gave fun a lower marking because I gave it a 3. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
And I know you're gonna love this because you love heat and all that stuff. Jeff is not a heat person, and I turn purple, and my body temperature regulation, I get, and
okay.
it was they expected it to be hot, but they expected some cloud cover, and it was going to be so hot that the race director at the beginning said, if you need to drop down in distance for safety reasons, let's do that. So if you're in the 100K
Okay.
and you only get 20 miles, well, you'll get the 12-mile buckle or award, or 50K or the 50
Mhm.
mile, vice versa. It was 109 with 98% humidity. Real feel was 115 degrees.
Oh my
I
God.
was, yeah, I was hot. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was very little shade depending on which section of the road you were on and where the sun was at. So like as the sun was coming up, we got decent shade, but that was the cooler part of the day. On the hotter part of the day when it was on the other side, we were getting smoked. So
Yeah, so you were
Yeah.
frothy as well, I'm sure, from all the sweat
yeah.
and it doesn't help. And people who run in dry area, they don't understand that about the humidity and why people from your part of the world has to train to go run on the other side, from the desert.
Yeah.
And people from the desert, when they come over and run where I think this race is, um, you're gonna melt to death, but you're thirsty. You're actually thirstier than you are in a dry
Yeah.
desert.
So to
Yeah.
give a little bit away, luckily I had transitioned my training plan to, instead of running in the mornings, because I like working out in the mornings, start my day right, I started running in the afternoon to start acclimating to
Okay.
heat for Moab, because Moab was supposed to be hot. So I needed to get ready for
Yeah,
heat.
it was supposed to be hot.
And, it helped, but that was an extreme day that really, it punched me pretty
Yeah.
hard. And, I still got all my goals accomplished and still did really well and was happy with the results. But man, I mean, fighting those demons in my head that tell me to go cool down was, you know, and the race staff
Yeah.
did really good at keeping that middle aid station, the unmanned one, a cooler full of ice, and they were constantly
Okay.
patrolling, stopping and saying, "Hey, how's your neck bandana? Do you need ice? We got a bucket right here." So they were doing really well with that.
That's
That's good.
important. That's
Yeah,
important. Yeah.
that's a lot of support there, and I know that when I do Kansas race, we all kid around because it does get really, really hot, Kansas and Missouri, and I'm not sure this is where yours was at, I'm just saying. We call it boob ice. We actually will throw stuff under our shirts and and we'll eat the ice. I've done it. I've eaten the ice, but because it's so hot and so thirsty and
Yeah,
yeah, I understand where you're at, and the voices in your head. I mean, because really, when you're that hot,
yeah.
there are voices going, "Stop,"
I
or,
mean, I
"Go eat a
I mean, for
popsicle."
anyone running, 109 is
yeah,
hot.
Yes, well, with humidity,
Yeah.
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 That real feel.
I lived in Louisiana for a while.
I mean, I grew up in the Antelope Valley in California, and 110 day was nothing. But it was that dry, arid
Yeah.
heat
Yeah.
that it was just hot. It
Yeah.
wasn't sucking the life out of you. This was,
Mm-mm.
and plus you're, you know, going for 62 miles, you know, you're no real
And you're
shade.
sweating it out, the water.
You're gritting it, and you're just drinking lots of
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
chucking ice in when you can, taking sponge baths at the aid stations, you know?
Yeah.
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 There is nothing that can soothe that. I mean, and, in the deserts, there are things you can do, but humidity like that in the heat, there's nothing you can do.
Yep.
It just comes right out. You drink it and it's coming right
Yep.
out. You were frothy. You did not smell good. That's what I took from that. So, did you have any pacers?
No pacers. Carrie had found this race. She had linked up with some friends, and she had started running with yeah, and she had started running with them, and they were coming down to run the race, and I was like, no way, it's going to be too hot, no way. And she finally, about a month out, she signed up. I was like, well, I'm doing it, and I'm like, I'm not. It's going to be hot. Then the week before the race, I said, you know what, forget it. I'm going to do it. So we started together, but we kind of started just doing our own thing because it was just too hot to try. Like, we might have gotten divorced because it was so hot and just got so angry with each other. But we just ran, no pacers and no crew.
But it was camping in your head for how long before you signed up? What was the time difference from when she signed up and you signed up?
I think 3 weeks.
Okay,
Okay.
so was it camping in your head or was she dropping subtle hints?
She just kept asking me, hey, are you going to do this? You know, we got to get ready for
I'm just gonna
Moab.
sign
Come
up to
on.
shut her up.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah. She peer pressured me.
So
She's mean.
there we go. So you didn't have any crew except for, the aid stations. So blisters and chafing
Not for me.
or anything else, not for you.
Oh.
You didn't have chapped lips, you didn't
I
have
mean,
chafing and all that?
mm-mm. Nope. No,
Wow. I
I wear exoskin liners, the exo underwear.
ah,
So where I would
Yeah.
get chafing there, I'm covered.
Yeah.
That stuff works really well. Sometimes depending, and this would have been an event where sometimes I could get some stuff in my um, underarm stuff, but the kit I was wearing, it was a little bit slicker and it was perforated, so it breathed a little bit more. Um, I did pre-lube with some squirrel's nut butter, but um,
yep.
ultimately I was, gonna continue to knock on wood. I was fine.
Good.
So what was that kit again in case anyone is curious about it?
Well, for that race, I was wearing my Rad Rabbit kit.
Rad Rabbit, okay.
Okay.
Um, all right, so gut issues. The Rad Rabbit can't fix that, and neither can squirrels unless you eat it. So, did you have any gut issues, things that we shouldn't talk about, maybe you wanna talk about?
Nope, nope,
Did you
nope,
see anybody with gut issues that maybe you wanna be like, "Oh, but I saw somebody"?
nope.
No?
I've actually have not had gut issues until recently.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, not good you have it recently, but
Um,
it's the worst thing that can happen on a race is, dealing with your gut as well.
yeah, luckily I have a pretty strong stomach. I think the only thing that would really punch my gut is spicy stuff. Um, I
Mm.
don't know what's
Like
happening.
burritos.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like burritos pre-race,
yeah,
yeah.
that one wasn't spicy though, so it was just a lot.
It's a lot. Okay, so lavatory facilities, outside going outside, it sounds like there was no trees, so you had to be very careful, or did you just go to the porta
I
potty?
mean, I think I did.
Were they
I
clean?
did hit the side of the road in some tree sections a couple times in the middle of the night. It doesn't really matter. It
No.
wasn't a well-traveled road. Um, this the halfway point had porta potties, and the start line had porta potties. They were clean, fresh, and probably
Okay.
150 degrees inside because it was so hot. Um,
Yep,
luckily, the
yep.
start and finish line had a little building. I can't remember what it was for, but they had two bathrooms in there that they were like, hey, it's too hot. Just if you got to do your business, you know. do your
Yeah.
your longer business in here so you don't die of heat exposure, and if you can, do the shorter business out there. So
So is there
Gotcha.
no wind or anything with no wind?
I think somebody sneezed on me once, and I thought the wind was starting to blow, but no, it was stale, stagnant, hot, humid air.
So that's why I was trying to think of these porta potties, it's they get steamy. Ugh, and
Yeah,
if they smell, it's
and
worse.
they were in
But
direct
if there's no
sunlight.
wind, there's nothing.
Nothing.
Ugh, wow. So how would you rate them?
So I gave them a 7 because they were clean and everything was great, but plus they had the 2 indoor ones at the start finish, so that really, really helped out. The only downside to that
Yeah.
was there was AC in there, so you'd go inside and you'd be cold because you're extremely hot,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I don't actually want to go back outside because this is too nice.
Yeah.
But
Then people bang on the door like, hurry up in there.
you just hurry up, get it done, and get back out so you don't get too
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yep. Usually it's the ones that have the heat at night that you want to stay in, but it's hot when you want to stay in a bathroom with an air conditioner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that that floor, even though it might have been dirty, probably felt very tempting to take a nap in the cool room, right?
Yeah, some of the 100 milers were in there. So there were some people that you know they were out of the race because they were close to heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and they had moved in there and got them, with the EMTs and stuff to help them out.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say I can't remember. There was like 40 or 50 in the 100K, and only like 20 finished. But some of those 20 finishes
Wow.
were 100 milers that dropped down to the 100K also. 'Cause it was so
Wow.
hot.
Are you saying EMTs were working on people in the air conditioning bathrooms?
No, 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 the building.
Or no? Okay. Oh, the
Yeah,
building itself. Okay.
Okay.
because you would walk in
Uh,
the building and there was a room, and then there was an in-between section that had, like, a little kitchen and 2 bathrooms, and then, like, another big room. It's where they had a pre-race
Okay.
dinner there too, so
oh wow.
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Um, okay, so I'm assuming you did not take any trail naps,
Nope,
but did you have any falls?
nope.
Okay.
You never fall.
Oh,
You know what? No, I race with you.
I
I'm gonna
don't.
push you.
Moab, I had some falls.
Everybody had falls.
Yeah.
So did you have any animal sightings? I mean, you can get like really, really tiny. I saw some ants. I saw a crawfish, which I've now heard on this podcast.
Did
I've
she
seen a
send you those
picture of it.
pictures?
Yes, there was a cry. She wasn't kidding. It was a real. She was not. I thought she was having a
Nope.
hallucination, and I was ready to go. Yep, there it is. But no, she took a picture.
Yeah.
So did you see any wasps, some bees, some deer, some dogs, some cats, a hippopotamus?
First of all, that was my photo. I took it.
She stole it.
I graced her with it. The yeah, I remember seeing. I think I remember seeing a couple deer. Obviously, see some birds, some squirrels, ants,
Mhm.
mosquitoes, those flies.
Mosquitoes. How big were they?
Texas-sized
Yeah.
mosquitoes. Yeah.
Um, not a lot though. There wasn't a lot of animal sightings. There was some dogs at one spot that I was kind of worried that the fence wasn't big enough, and we had to
Yeah.
run by it all the time. And those dogs acted really mean, but luckily that fence kept them in.
Maybe they just spoke a foreign language.
Sure,
Maybe they're
sure.
just the dog
No,
that's
yeah,
from
no.
England, and maybe
I
they're just angry all the time. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I
scared of
think I
dogs,
think
so
I think an angry dog, you have no doubt if a dog is angry, if it's just wants to talk
well,
to
they
you.
were long-haired
yeah.
dogs. I mean, like really hairy dogs. So they were probably just as mad as I was
Okay.
at being outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they were just telling you you were being a fool
Yeah.
being in the,
Hey, idiot, stop running by
yeah,
our
Yeah.
house. It's
okay.
hot.
It's
Yeah.
hot. Why are you doing
Yeah.
that?
You're a weirdo.
Why are you forcing me to come out here and bark at you?
Or don't steal my water.
No,
There we go.
no,
Yeah.
I would never.
So, never. Ugh. So what would you rate those animal sightings?
I will say 7. They were okay-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
just okay. Mental state. I know you had to have some mental state going on in the heat. You had to have. And the donuts.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say it's a toss up between a 5 and a 6 for me because I never got so bad that I was down on myself and like I was just not enjoying the heat and the moving and
Right.
Yeah.
like I have respiratory problems anyways, so that really like exacerbated them a little bit because you're so it's so hot and everything you're taking in is hot and you're hot and you just can't really cool down. And it played a little bit, in my mind. It's like people are quitting. It's okay to drop down in distance, and it's like it's okay.
Yeah.
You've already accomplished enough, and you're just fighting that. And like I just had to try to focus on, okay, well, I only got 15 more miles. Okay, I only got 10 more miles. I tried to reframe my
Yeah.
thoughts to get away from all that. So I don't ever think I got super negative, but I was definitely like, this sucks,
Yeah. You were in
Yeah.
the suck
Yeah.
zone. Absolutely.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So did you have any hallucinations with all that? Like, maybe those dogs were actually chihuahuas
No, no, I'm a
or,
hallucinator. They this I didn't have any trips on this one. No physical or
Okay.
mental trips. I had none of them.
So were you prepared?
Um, not for the heat. No, no,
No.
no. I
No.
think that was.
Even after switching from morning training to afternoon training, that still it didn't make a huge difference.
I mean, I think it probably helped me, and my body was starting to adapt. But I don't think maybe I had
Yeah.
enough time. I don't know if my body type, I'm like ever gonna truly acclimate to those kind of things. So I had to use the tools. I had to have the ice
Yeah.
bandana on and try to keep it full as possible. Doing the sponge baths. Um, I started carrying extra water so that as I started to dry off because it was so hot in between, I could redouse myself a little bit down my back, into the
Yeah.
into the spots that you need to help your core temperature come down. Um, and I did. That's really it was just my focus was okay. Body temp seems to be going up. I need to douse a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's where I kept going. And I'd find myself slowing down a lot and being in a walk because I'm too hot. And I'm like, well, all you're doing is making your time out here longer. So move a little bit,
Yeah.
get your run going
Yeah.
and control your temperature through your movement. And as the sun
Yeah.
moved, you may add distance because you're like, there's a tree on this side and there's a little bit of shade over here. So you'd bounce here and then you'd bounce over to the other side to catch as
Yeah.
much shade. You started playing games like that to like try to get any ounce
Yeah.
of relief
Yeah.
from the shade or from the heat.
And you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been at races where there's a single tree and we just take that shade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
We'll
was,
run as fast as we can to a tree just to walk really, really slow.
Yeah.
You know, and then you feel like a lot of time passes walking really slow in front of that one single tree, but really it's not long enough.
No, no. And at a certain point, you start to plan, like I started to plan my like, okay, I feel like I need a rest. Well, it would be in that shade spot.
yeah.
So you're like, okay,
Hmm.
well,
Yeah.
you can't rest now, but you can rest in that shade spot. So
Yep.
I'd
Yeah.
give myself that time to kind of catch it and go, okay, you gave yourself a minute, now go.
I call those treat yourself moments,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, except for the heats, it sounds like that maybe that the year that you ran this probably was an exceptionally hot year, and that maybe it's not always like that.
Um, yeah, I don't think it's always that hot. I think it is usually warm.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they have years where it rains, but it's like it's a
Okay.
summer rain, so it's not cold or anything. But I think
Right.
this was an exceptional year where it was just really, really hot.
Mm.
Mm. So on the preparedness, what score did you give that?
I gave myself a 6 because I think for distance and all that stuff and working through mental stuff, I was pretty good. But you know, the heat and stuff, I think I brought myself down.
Yeah.
I think it was a little hard on myself here, but I think that's a relatively decent score for this event.
Right. Well, and it's however you want to score yourself. It's
Yeah.
not, you know, you get to judge yourself,
Yeah.
but you're also judging the weather, so it's a give and
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
I can't control the weather, but I mean, I
No.
can just try to control my preparedness. And I know that if I'm going to a hot event, I need to really work on myself to get ready for those kinds of
Yeah.
things. Because a hot, humid event,
Yeah,
I
but
should say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't think about that. I really have looked at races and I know that they're hot and I know it's gonna be extreme. I don't think about 'em. It's like, "Oh, I wanna go do it because it's gonna be muddy," or this or that, not even thinking of the implications. So it just sounds like, you know, mm,
Yeah.
yeah. So, when you signed up for the race and you read the manual or you didn't, did the race fit the description, or did the IRDs embellish? And I feel like that they didn't maybe at this particular year, though, with the heat.
No, it's a pretty simple course. It's a 5 mile out and back. Um,
Okay.
she had sent out a couple emails like, "Hey, the weather's not looking good. Hey, the weather is saying that there might be some short rain, but it's gonna make the humidity skyrocket and it's gonna be hot."
Mhm.
So she was telling us, "Hey, it's gonna be hot." And when I signed up 12 days before, I only started getting short stuff, but Carrie was getting stuff, and she's like, "Hey, it's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna need this, or I'm gonna want this." And when I finally dove in, it was like, "Oh boy, what did I do?"
But that was peer pressure,
Yes,
remember?
gosh,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
shouldn't be pressuring me like that.
She's sitting in the other room listening
No, no,
probably.
she's doing
No.
a class.
Oh, okay.
Ah, so she'll hear this later.
Yeah,
Throwing her under the bus. So what would you rate that, the race and the description? Because I feel like if they are letting you know consistently,
Yeah.
that's a good
yeah.
RD.
No, I gave her an 8. I think it was great. It was set up great. I mean, and we had I mentioned it already, but uh, the night before they did a pre-race meal with all the racers. It's like a spaghetti dinner, where we all got together
Yeah.
and they had a guest speaker, and one of the runners got up and shared a story with us, and he was a blind runner, and it was his first attempt
Oh,
his
Ah,
first
okay.
attempt at 100 miles. And he told his story because he wasn't born blind. Like Stevie, he had the Stevie Wonder thing where it kind of faded, but he was so young he didn't
yeah.
realize what was happening to say anything. So he gave his
Okay.
story, which was pretty inspiring, and getting to see him out there running. But yeah, race versus description, I gave her an 8. She did. I think she put on a pretty good event, and there's some things about it that I haven't shared, that I really liked about the event, but I don't want to give it away because you
Okay.
two might nail it if I tell this part.
So when you got to the race, you got a bag or something that had some swag in there, maybe a T-shirt, and when you were done, you got a medal or a buckle. So we'll start with the swag. What was in there, and was it? How do you rate that part?
I honestly don't remember. Um,
It couldn't have been that hot.
no,
Well,
I remember getting my bib, and I don't think we got a T-shirt.
Okay.
okay.
Um, I think we just got a bib, and if we got a T-shirt, my bad. But I mean, most of my race shirts nowadays, I'm just donating them to some organizations around, for
Hmm.
people in
Yeah.
need, because you get so many shirts, and some of them are great quality, but you know, I'm a Death March guy, so I love their gear. I have way too many Death March shirts. That's not really that's not really a thing. Um, but yeah, I don't remember there being much of a swag bag per se. I think they gave us a sticker, like a race sticker, in our bid. Um,
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Did you put it on your car or maybe your jug of water
I can't
in a box?
the sticker I got with the finishers. I haven't, and I got it here to show y'all. I think. Um, I can't-
Don't show yet.
oh, I thought I brought it in here. I might have to run and go grab it. Um, yeah. So the swag, there wasn't much swag that I can recall, and I think that money went to probably the dinner instead, which I'm good with.
Okay.
And I might have actually
Yeah.
I might have actually opted not to get the shirt because I do that sometimes too. when there's
Right.
that
Yeah.
Yeah,
option,
there are those
I don't want
options.
the
Mhm.
shirt necessarily.
I hear ya. So, did you get a medal or a buckle, and how did you rate
I
that?
got a buckle, and I gave it a 7 because it was my first 100K buckle. It's a decent buckle. It's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
It's cool.
Okay. So, I'll let Renee take over again.
Okay, so your experience score, that's mostly the weather took kind of the fun out of everything. But you ended up with a 6.6 out of 10.
That's good.
Um, and considering how much you suffered in the heat, that's not bad at all. So it's right there on the border where I would say you're probably not one you're going to go do again, but at the same time, if the weather was better, you might actually go and do it again. So it's sitting right there where I don't know if you would do this race again.
That's a pretty spot on prediction. That's a
He's our live AI.
yeah. If it was going to be cooler, I think I could do that one again. But yeah, with those kind of temps, man.
Yeah. But on the positive side, combining your extremely high return on investment on your results and your very, very financially responsible spending and your not horrible experience, but not super good experience either, you ended up with a 6.85, which is a nice, decent result. And I'm just going to see if you're going to make it into the top 10.
Yeah, he is.
He is going to make it into the top 10.
Yes.
Yes. Possibly even the top 5.
Yep.
But
There is one
we
at
need to
15.
guess. We need to guess.
Excuse me.
So hot and humid, that brings it into
It's
kind of
summer.
like,
It's gotta
yeah,
be June or July is what I'm thinking.
yes. I'm leaning towards a Missouri or Kansas race.
We close? He's like, sure, whatever.
I have no idea.
I don't
Hot and
either.
humid.
It's like
I will say it's a Missouri race. I'll give you that it's in Missouri.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it has to be because see what I thought it was at first, I was figuring Missouri with that little circle thing, but that's a winter race. So this is a summer race. I'm thinking June or July or August when it's like the soupiest time. It could be May.
Hmm.
But he's not talking rain, so this is past tornado season, so it's June or July. I mean, or July or August.
Yeah.
And I don't have any idea what
I
it
have no
is.
idea.
Really?
I don't. It's killing me. I feel like I should know this. I'm gonna feel stupid in a minute, and that's okay.
I know you know one of the people that I ran it with. I only met her at the race, but yeah. No idea. You guys,
Probably someone like
you giving up?
We're
I
giving up.
given up. I do not know what this is.
So it's the Bad Dog Endurance Run.
Bad
Oh,
dog.
I know what this is. Can I go back and
It's
it's the bad dog endurance
You,
run.
you mentioned the dogs that were barking. We should have
yeah,
known.
yeah. I don't think that was
Oh, that's not how you
that wasn't a part of the.
it's not that kind of dog.
Oh, it's not that kind of dog. It's that the dog.
Dog.
It's pretty close. So
Dog, bad dog.
this is the Bad Dog.
Oh,
Ah,
that's nice.
that's nice. I want that.
You want that?
Yeah.
Little buckle,
Oh, you-
pretty cool.
Do you
It's
wear
very
it?
nice.
I haven't put
Do you
it on
wear
a
it
belt
at
yet.
all?
Ever since I got
Okay.
ever since I got a belt to put my buckles on, my Born to Run has been permanently affixed to that belt. I haven't even worn the Moab one. I just wear that Born to Run one because it's so nice.
So what year was this?
Last year,
Last year.
25.
yeah, last year it was
Yeah, I should have guessed it was
it was
last year with the
August.
heat
It was August
because
14th.
See, I knew. And yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we ran that one.
So-
Then we did another 50K, and then we went to Moab.
okay.
So and
Yeah, because last year was so hot and dry everywhere.
yeah, and
Except for Moab.
the race
Except
was
for
cool
Moab.
because like, and that's one of the reasons like I gave a lot of good marks to the race. is um, the the funds that they raise, they use for one sole purpose to buy each kid in their Title I school district in the elementary school a pair of shoes.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's
the money is raised for a really really cool cause. I know some.
yeah.
I think some people took donations and things to help out, but the race is put on to raise money for those kids to get a pair of shoes. So that is really cool to me. And
Yeah.
when we went in, a little bit of extra money in the bucket to help them out, aside from the race fees, because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
they're still paying for the aid stations and the ice and all that stuff. And on a year like that, probably lots of ice. But um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
really cool.
what? Yeah.
What's that?
What's the terrain like? What's the terrain like?
So
So
you,
you mentioned gravel roads.
yeah, so you start at this
Yeah.
little building where you meet for the dinner. The race starts at 6 in the morning. They do allow early starts for the heat, so they're already projecting for next year. Like they've already altered the race almost completely. They let a couple people start at 8 or 9 p.m. the night before in the 100 mile,
Okay.
just to try that are slower runners that just want to try to beat the heat. Um, this
Yeah.
year they're putting that out there. They're like, hey, this is what we're going to do if the heat is bad. You have the option. The only thing with that is you can't compete for a podium. You can just go for a
Right.
finish,
Right.
which that's fair. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so the first half mile is asphalt, and it was like
Okay.
fresh, smooth, black asphalt. So, and then you look
Something that really absorbs the heat.
right. So, and then you turn right and you're, 4.5 miles, well, 5.5 miles for the first loop on dirt road. It's all just dirt road, soft, silty. Um, as the car's going by, you're getting dusted, because those farmers out
Yeah.
there, they're just blazing by, dusting you. So
Yeah.
you're enjoying breathing that in your nose and your mouth and then sucking some water and trying to clear it out. But um, all dirt. So that part was nice because it was, soft, but that last half mile was just brutal, especially towards the
Yeah.
end. So my R1s, I had about 800 miles on them, and that
Oh,
blacktop at the end, just the
that killed
the
it.
bottom, just the tread started delaminating off of the sole. And I mean,
Yeah.
they got their use. I got my use out of them, tons and tons of miles. But I think I ran 2 laps with it flapping. It was just like
Oh my
I think I
God.
had another pair of shoes. I think I had my T1s, but I'm not going to use my T1s on the asphalt.
No.
And the
Mm-mm.
road,
No.
yeah, it was dirt, but it was like I'm just gonna finish this race and chuck them in the trash. And I
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
could have used duct tape,
y-
super
yeah,
glue.
well, it like
I've done that.
because it was like on this part of the sole was kind of flapping
Yeah.
forward, so it wasn't like
Right.
I had to worry about tripping on it. It was just you could feel it
Yeah.
slapping sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
so I got done with the race. I took them off, put my
Toss them.
soft sandals on, and I just chucked them. You know, no,
What
Yeah.
kind of soft sandals do you use?
I have Hoka, just recovery sandals,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, I think it's important to wear these types of things, especially if you're going to run in the humidity because your feet are, it's just like running in water. Your feet still get looking like you have trench foot
yeah, and
and
Yeah.
smelling like
well, and
trench foot.
you're dumping so much water on you too, so everything's just
Yeah.
all the salt, all the dirt is running down and
Yeah.
collecting in your socks and your feet, and you know, they, those shoes were
Yeah.
pretty ripe. But like I said, because I tracked my shoes distances in Garmin and in Strava, and I think it was like 840 miles in those shoes, and it was like, yeah, that's
That's good.
That's not
that's
bad.
a solid
That's not
amount of
bad.
training in those shoes. They they,
Yes.
they earned that that's why I got another pair of them. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
Got like
Yeah.
five pair.
like
I got all
It's
my
very
ultras for
rare.
trail running. I've got all my R1s. It's for I've actually got a pair of H1s. Have you tried those out yet?
That's what I'm training in for Denali 135. I finished the last 40 miles of Moab in H1s. I'd run
Oh,
with
wow.
I'd run with them enough, but they're not a solid for me. I don't think they're a solid 100% trail shoe. It's got to be a little more hard pack.
No.
As if it
Yeah.
starts
Yeah.
getting wet or looser, I like the T1s. Get a little more lug. I mean, I have some experienced wilds too that I'll switch into too, just to have some shoe diversity. But yeah, that's like my
Well,
crossover
I'm
shoe.
gonna ask you, so I don't run in a T1 yet. I'm still like a self-sponsoring my ultras. But so maybe you can answer a question for those listening. So they would like to know at the T1, is there a party for your toes in there, kind of like the R run, or is it a tighter, snugger fit that when you're running, it's like the shoe is an extension of your leg?
No, they have the T1s are a little bit roomier toe box. I think. Oh, they say um the website will even tell you that the T1s there's specific models that are they say if you need a wider toe box, go to the T1s or go to these ones. I got a pair of the
Okay.
I recently got a pair of the P1s because they're a little more of a stability shoe because I've been having a lot of
Hmm.
like foot soreness and foot fatigue, arch fatigue. So I was trying to find a shoe that will offer a little bit more arch support to help just that recovery process when I'm not in a recovery sandal or something. Because I also wear Luna sandals a lot, and that's like just barefooting and
Mm,
keeping your feet. So
Yeah.
I needed to get something to help support my arches because I have high arches to let my foot rest and recover. And the P1s, they
yeah.
got that same mountain coast cushioning that's nice and plush and it feels good, but I can feel the support in the back of my heel and my feet feel better. And it's kind of turned into my daily walker. I have run in them a couple times and they're nice, but I use them pretty much for just walking around and letting my feet rest and recover a little bit.
Okay.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because people do ask a
that
lot.
works for me. I mean, there's so many foot variations that it might not work for somebody else, but I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
I have a really high arch and I've been running in a lot of the like 3 mil, 4 mil drops that they're not really great for arch support. And my feet have done great. And I think that some of that comes from wearing Lunas and doing a lot of barefoot stuff and working on my foot strength. But you run
Yeah.
62 miles, your feet need a little bit of support and that those arches. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've really learned that I need to get something to help my feet kind of calm back down, regroup and recover just like the rest of my body does.
Right. So this is the P1 that you're running in and not the T1.
What do you mean?
Okay, so there's a T1 for trail and there's a P1 for walking. Which one are you talking about? The
The
T1 or the
recovery shoe
P1?
is the P1. I
Yes.
have
Yeah.
run in the
So
P1
you are.
twice now, both times on the treadmill, just to test them out, see how they feel. Um, the
Okay. And how
T1,
does that work?
what do you mean?
Would you recommend a P1 on a treadmill?
On a treadmill? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
it's a road shoe. It's a casual shoe. I think
Mhm.
Okay.
it's considered a trainer. Like the R1 is considered their racing shoe. I think it's
Yes.
got an 1.5 ounce weight difference. So the
Mhm.
R1 and the R1R is their racing shoe. The P1 is a stability slash daily walker.
Mhm.
You can run in them. They have the S1, which is supposed to be a training model shoe. So
Yeah.
you're not really using the R1s. The H1 is your crossover, your hybrid, which,
Yep.
it says trail and road, but for me, for the trail, it's got to be,
I think rails to trails.
yeah, it's got to be pretty hard packed,
Yeah.
not wet stuff. And then, but I mean, those T1s, I just got my second pair of T1s. I put about 400, 500 miles on the T1s and Moab. It was just so wet and so gnarly that I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not even going to try to clean these out. I'll just get another pair. They were just, it was
So,
time.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Sometimes you can read things on the website, but a lot of times people like me or people ask me, they want to know, what do you think? And it's important to hear that, and it's good that you tell them it's what works for you. But we wanna actually know, why does that work for you? Why it's a lot of
Yeah.
money to put out shoes or just they're costly.
Yeah, I mean, I have a
So
really high arch, but my foot width is kind of in the middle. I don't really have a lot of rub and friction on the sides. Like Carrie, on the other hand,
she
she has a
does.
wider forefront, and she loves the H1s. She does good in the R1s. The T1s, she likes them, but she doesn't use them as much. She likes the bounce and the cushioning on the H1s a lot. Um, but I mean, she transitioned back in the day to ultras just because they were so wide, and her toe
Yeah,
box,
Yeah.
and she's actually finally increased her shoe size because she was getting blisters really bad. I mean, at Bad Dog, she had to drop because it was so hot and her feet were getting so banged up. She ended up having another blister issue that just she was like, I can't barely even walk. I'm gonna take the 50K and call it a day. Um, and she's
yeah,
finally gone up a half size in shoe, and she's starting to not even tape her feet anymore. And those
Okay.
H1s and stuff are just doing really good, just a half size better. And
yeah,
she's
Yeah.
having no blister issues. I mean, she's run a couple times without tape, and she goes, "My feet are perfect."
yeah.
I'm like, That's
Yeah,
that's
no one thinks if you
wonderful."
just yeah,
Yeah.
your feet are swelling, they're expanding as you're running these long distances. You really should always go
And
up. Even a full size sometimes is, I think you go up a full size when you get
oh,
above
yeah, it's
300.
it's it's even worse. So when I started running, I was running in 8 or 8.5. Now I need to start at a 9 and move to a nine and a
Oh
half and
wow.
finish on a 10. And when we bought new shoes for across the years, I said, okay, I'm just going to buy 9 and 9.5, but even that was too small. And now I actually have to go to 9.5 and in a 10.5.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but it is one of the common things amongst runners is they're running in the wrong size of shoes because they think that the dress shoe they used to wear at work is the same as a
Yeah.
running shoe.
And
And
it's not.
that is not always the
Mm-mm.
case. And then especially for the longer distance and with heat and you're hydrating, your feet swell
Yeah,
up. There's nothing you can do to stop that. So,
yeah.
um, but it took us a couple of years to learn that lesson.
You had to learn the hard way like everybody else.
Just like
So
Carrie.
maybe you just saved somebody from learning the
I
hard
mean,
way.
I would hope so.
Carrie's feet were just so bad, and I always felt so bad for her because, like, you see all these blisters, and it's in between her feet, and she literally, like, you do a 50K or more, she's losing every toenail just because her
Yeah.
feet just
Mhm.
get so beat up, and now her toenails are like next to non-existent, but she still has
Yeah.
the blister problem, and now with this half size bigger, she's not
Yeah.
having those problems and is able to enjoy the other pains of ultra running, not
Yeah.
having to worry about her feet
Yeah.
hurting so bad.
Yeah, she's probably
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I didn't know that existed." Well, yeah, it did exist for you, just your feet hurt too bad.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
now she'll have the new stuff. Oh, how exciting. I just love runners and their pains. I
yeah.
mean, I have mine too, but I mean, it's fun to share.
Well, if you got 1 second, I'm gonna run and grab something because it's one of the things I actually like about what they gave us. I forgot
Okay.
it on my
Yeah.
counter. I'll be right back.
Okay, we're gonna talk behind your back,
I
so
can still hear you.
Oh, he can't hear shit.
Yeah, he can't hear
Yes, I
us.
can.
He's gotta walk 5 more steps away.
No,
And
no,
now
my house isn't that big.
Damn Bluetooth.
So
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
toenails are for
Toenails are for
sissies.
sissies.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like
Head Dog
that. I
Ultra.
have to
Red
go
Dog
run this
Ultra.
race to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that sticker for our car.
Who are the RDs? So we can make sure we give a little shout out. Or is it a running company?
No,
Um,
let me pull it up really quick. 'Cause she did a great job. I mean,
It was a
I
she.
really she
yeah,
yeah.
she.
It was a gal. Her husband helped out and did a lot of stuff, but she was the RD. Computer doesn't want to work right now. Give me a couple seconds. Gosh, I can see her face. We're connected on social media, but I can't think of her name right now. I was able. The race director is Melissa Sharp. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. Now we know that.
she put on
Melissa
an
Sharp.
Yeah, I think that's an exceptional person.
It sounds like they went above and beyond with ice to keep
yeah,
people cool on
they did,
the
and
on the run. That's very,
yeah,
very
and I'm
good
I'm pretty
race
sure it was
directing.
her husband that was.
And the bathroom, let's not forget the air
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
conditioned.
her husband that was driving up and down the road, like checking runners in between, the unmanned station and not, and handing out ice and making
Yeah.
sure the back aid station stayed fresh on ice. And yeah, they did a great job for the conditions that they had, and it was good.
You know, this part I'm
So
gonna cut out from this.
so I'm just thinking here. So the first loop was 6 miles out and 6 miles back. So that's 12. Then you did
Yeah.
5 10-mile loops. Yeah. Okay.
So I do want to say this morning at 4 a.m. we did another interview, and I
Should we
was
say goodbye first?
no, it's okay, because
Okay.
it'll been on the week before him. So the person that was on the week before, everyone knows who it is by now. Is she was telling us that when you drop out, you have to write your reason on the board. I could just imagine the reasonings coming out while you're DNFing.
So you had to
Yeah,
justify
that's what
dropping
they
out.
had
You
to
had to
do.
give a reason for dropping out, and they will write that down
Oh
and put
my
it on
goodness.
Facebook.
On a board, yes. So I could just imagine I know what the race is that she was talking about, and I get it. So I just could imagine it's hotter than blankety blank. I'm sure that
No.
people wrote that, or I'm melting, or
Yeah, so
Yeah,
people just say, "Well, couldn't be bothered."
they didn't do that here. That
but that would have been funny to
Yeah.
read
No, I
those
mean, there were
responses.
some people that were the blind gentleman that was running didn't end up finishing the 100 miles. I think he got 100K, and he started to get a little bit of heat exhaustion, heat
Okay.
cramping his body, but that he was moving. He was running with a
Yeah.
guide, and it was so awesome to see him.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were moving, and he lived in St. Louis,
Yeah.
but like I said, that heat was just too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what blind runners can do.
We've seen them. It is
And
amazing. But it's amazing what us butthole
and
runners will
and
do
and
coming up upon them.
imagine the trust you have to your guide
Yeah,
when you run
I mean,
Yeah.
for
from
that long.
talking with them, and I shared some miles with them
Yeah.
at one point. I kind of picked up my pace and chatted with them when I could. They had done quite a bit of running together. They didn't just like meet and say, "Hey, let's go run 100 miles." Like he had the one guy had done almost
No.
all of the events he had run in with him. Um, and then the other guys came in. They had done some training with them.
Okay.
They run with other blind runners, but they just, they had to cycle in because they weren't trying to do 100 miles. Um, so that they could stay fresh and
Right.
coordinated to give him, because they're talking. All right, we're gonna shuffle to the right a little bit so we avoid a rock that's taking up 4 inches, and so you'd see him, and it was
Yeah.
That's
it was
trust.
surprising to me because they're running like not really up this high. I don't know where the camera can see to, but it was out on their side, like in their runner stride, and it was just a strap, and that
Yeah.
they each held an end, and they kept tension
So
on
they're
it, and it was
binded.
as they were going,
Yeah.
and it was like, wow, and they were blowing past me. I'm like, okay, blind dude, thanks. You could have at least said hi,
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but that is awesome.
Yeah.
So it really is a sport for everyone.
Right. And they should get razzed just as much as we give each
Oh,
other, because
yeah,
they're
I
part of the
was clapping it
family.
up
Oh
when I
yeah.
was
And
happy in the beginning and
Absolutely.
still full of energy and not a million degrees. I can't remember his name. But you know, I'd be like, "All right, Brody." I think his name is Brody. But I was like, "All right, Brody, you're doing good. You're killing it. Stop making me look so bad. Thank goodness you couldn't see me." And they'd be like, "Ha ha ha," you know. But yeah,
He could smell you. I'm still
Yes.
thinking
I'm
about
sure I
how
was
bad
right.
you must have smelled.
That's why when I got done, I mean, I think I got done at like 10:30 at night, and it's even we had the van there and we had the AC going all day, but it's still super warm in there. And it was cooler, but it's like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna go somewhere, get a cold shower, get cleaned
No.
off, get all this grime off, and get a little bit of sleep. And yeah,
Slime.
and
Slime, yes.
they had
Yeah.
a hotel in town that gave the race a discount. That's why it was so cheap. And then, you know, I also got a veterans discount added on to that. So the room was relatively inexpensive. So we got to clean off and jump in a air conditioned room and just, you know, reverse thaw out a little bit, you know, cool off. And it was nice. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
you know, easy drive
Yep.
home.
Oh, I bet.
And one of I
Yeah. You probably
so
stopped
on the
and
way
ate some
down,
more
we
food
passed through
and,
this town.
had a
The name is
burrito.
called Climax Springs. And it just it's like there's like 3 buildings in this town, and they're a little, you know, it's just a small backwoods town. And I saw a cafe, and I was like, "Hey, let's go there. Let's get lunch." And it was one of those. It was down home food. They had fresh biscuits, like made with lard, and they were like ginormous. And I got an omelet that could feed probably 6 people with some of the best gravy you ever had in your life.
Wow.
So when we woke up, we had enough food to hold us over to get back to Climax Springs so we could go to that cafe and eat biscuits and pancakes and just, you know, try to replenish and refuel with all that, you know, sweet tea at 10
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning with a big old country breakfast is perfect after a hot
Yep.
100K.
I wanna
Oh,
Yeah.
go
yeah.
eat there. Okay,
Okay.
Renee.
Oh,
Okay. I'll
wow.
bring you to
Yeah.
climax.
I
Oh,
wasn't going to say what
no.
we were
I
making
can't
jokes
say
about, but
that. It's supposed
since
to
you
be
opened the door.
implied.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. And
Well,
you have a great evening.